Thank you. Thank you very much. First, giving honor to God, to your pastor. I have heard so much about him, and I admire him tremendously. Give him a hand, please.
God bless you, sir.
He and I had a wonderful conversation the other day, and he reminded me about the separation between church, amen, and state. And I told the pastor that I certainly understand as a lawyer who has represented churches and as a son of two preachers and a mother who has been a pastor all my life, that I understand. And Pastor, thank you for your hospitality, and thank you so much to the First Lady of this great church, Janine. Thank you. Amen. Amen. I'm not going to be long because I'm here to hear the sermon. I'm so glad that so many people, Pastor, come up to me all the time and say thank you. Thank you for doing what you do. And I have to turn around and I have to say thank you. Thank you for giving the son of former sharecroppers with a fourth grade education each. For giving a man who was placed in special ed as a little boy. Come on now. Told that he would never mount, that's how they used to say it, mount to anything. The same one who oftentimes was unseen, unnoticed, unappreciated, and unapplauded. And that's why it is that I feel so grateful. And no matter where I am, I find my way to get into a church. If I'm on, and every Sunday, if you're looking for me, I'm usually at 7:15 in the morning, that is, at my church, the New Psalmist Baptist Church, where I've been there for 37 years. I just want to leave you with a short message. And that is that without dabbing or dipping into any kind of politics, I just want you to know our country is in trouble. I'm not going to name any, I got it, Pastor. I'm not going to name any names. Pastor, he warned me. I'm on it. But I must say this. When I sit on in that committee, I get a chance to see where we're going. And ladies and gentlemen, there is a tremendous effort to take us way back. Come on now. And I do believe that we have to guard our progress, no matter what it is. If you got a house, and you see something leaking, you better find a way to fix that leak or your house will come down. And I can tell you that we have a situation where we must have accountability. I don't care who you are. There is no one who is above the law. No one. And when we begin to throw out the rule books, then we open ourselves up to chaos. And I've just stopped by here to tell you that not long ago, Pastor, for 6 months, I laid in a hospital bed with an infection in my knee. And as I laid there and I was in excruciating pain. And I had a chance to think about my life, but I also had a chance to think about my death. And as I thought about my death, one night a lady came in And she said, I was at Johns Hopkins, which is smack dab in the middle of my district. And the lady came in and she said, "You Mr. Cummings?" I started to lie. "Yes, ma'am." Because I didn't know what was coming. She said, "You big man, ain't you?" I said, "Yes, yes, ma'am." I thought she meant big in size, but she said, you up there with the president, ain't you?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." Well, the Lord, but he been working on me. I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Well, I said, what do you do?" "I'm the cleaning lady." I said, "I'll move around so you can get in my room." No. I don't clean your room. I'm here to give you a message. I said, "Oh?" And you know what? I did not know, Pastor, what she was going to say, but I slid to the side of my bed because I know it was deep. And she said, "Now the Lord, he been talking to me all night." And she said, and he talked to me so much, I had to write it down. So she reached into her bosom, y'all ladies, y'all reach in the bosom, and she pulls out a piece of paper. And I'll never forget, as long as I live, give me some water, please. As long as I live, she said, the Lord said to me, he just trying to get your attention, that he ain't finished with you yet. And he got a work for you to do. And all of a sudden, the pain went away. Why am I telling you this? As I listened to your pastor as he was praying, and he was talking about you go through stuff and for a better day. What I'm saying to you, we're going through a storm in our country right now. But it's for a better day. It's for a better day. Our country is one of the greatest countries that ever existed. But we've got to stand up for it. I said to our president when I visited with him 2 years ago, I said, "Mr. President, you can be the greatest president in the world if you would just take care of all your people, all of them." And I said, when you talk about the black community, I beg you not to talk about us as if we come out of some kind of rat holes or we just doing bad or we're murder capitals of the world. I said, we're all human beings. We're all God's children. Don't talk about us like that. Why did I say that? Because if we go around demeaning people and treating them as if they're less than human, then it becomes easier to put them in cages. Come on now. And so what I am doing, I am there for a reason. God spared my life for a reason. John Kennedy and Lena Kennedy, my friends who invited me here, and they have constantly reminded me that my mission started long ago as a little boy with the mama and daddy who were sharecroppers. Never did I dream, and I'm saying this to our children, never did I dream that I would be on 60 Minutes. Didn't dream it. Never did I dream that I would be sitting in probably the most powerful position in the United States Congress. But I say what the lady said, the Lord ain't finished with me yet. I do not know how long God will give me. But I promise you one thing. I will go to my death protecting this democracy. My mama My mother and father did not raise their 7 children to grow up and sit on the sidelines of life. They did not have us in church from sunup, come on now, to sundown. They did not pray over us over and over and over again. They did not give us the education that we got to sit on the sidelines of life. They did not start their day in devotionals. You remember that? Singing the Lord's Prayer, 23rd Psalm, you know what I'm talking about. Pledging allegiance to a flag. So often we wondered whether it was really about us. But we stood up anyway. And so I've come by here to let you know that when you see me, you see a man that is driven by pain. I've been driven by my experiences in life. I live in the inner city. I live, Pastor, in the inner city. I never moved out of the inner city. You know why? Because I wanted to be a role model. I wanted to be a role model for little boys and little girls. I wanted them to understand, yeah, you can start off in a difficult place. But I constantly remind them that everything that happens to you up until this moment, good, bad, and ugly, prepares you for this moment. Everything. And so to friendship, y'all got the right name. I be feeling, as the boys in my neighborhood say, I be feeling y'all. I mean, I felt it when I came up, the pastor, I've never had a pastor to greet me on the outside of a church. And there your pastor was, there he was. Then he came over again, and he has been so warm to me. And then when I got, and then, you know, I know y'all didn't pay any attention to this, but I did. When I saw the praise team, I was so glad to see you all have a mixture of age groups in the praise team. See, I didn't miss that. I didn't miss that. And they sang good. They were good. Why am I saying that? Why do I raise that? We are in an era where you have young people who think the older people are too old, and the old people think the young people are out of their minds. Amen. But as evidenced by the praise team, obviously the pastor has the same philosophy that I do. In my office, in my committee, you know, we can choose the people that go on your committee. So everybody said, we don't want them young people, the new freshmen coming in. We don't want them. Because Cortez, she going, and then Talib saying all the stuff she said, we don't want her. We don't want Presley. We don't want them. We don't want Hill. I said, give them all to me. And I meant that. I meant that. Give them to me. I said, because you got to understand, oh God, in order for our children to be lifted up, they have to have opportunity. But, they also need the wisdom of the older folk. And that is the combination that we bring. And so, again, as I say to you, I thank you for this opportunity. Somebody asked me a moment ago, said Congressman, you going to sneak out? And I no, I don't sneak out on no church. I told him I respect the church. I don't just come to visit, wave, get the election done. Usually I'm in my own church. But if I'm at your church, I'm going to do the same thing I do at my church. I say to the benediction, I say, amen. Amen. Perrin Mitchell, my predecessor, one of my predecessors used to say, I only have a minute. 60 seconds in it forced upon me. I did not choose it, but I know that I must use it, give account if I abuse it, suffer if I lose it. Only a tiny little minute, but eternity is in it. May God bless.